Welcome to Selena Infinity. I'm Pedro, and today we're breaking down all the things you might have missed from the teaser trailer for Netflix Selena the Series. Let's stop right there. First, we see the script in hand, and this already tells us that this is not a regular trailer. Instead, it's almost like a behind-the-scenes look at Christian Serratos, who's playing Selena, becoming Selena. You hear her singing Selena's songs, you see her trying some of Selena's hand movements. The things that are also important in that scene is that sweater, which is an actual sweater taken from earlier in Selena's career. So what this tells me is that they're mixing the different eras of Selena's life. The house is another dead giveaway. With its 70s vibe, it looks like the house that Selena grew up in Lake Jackson, Texas. She and her family lived in that house in the 70s until they moved to Corpus Christi later on in life. Now, we got a few more shots of Christian becoming Selena by seeing her practicing her dance steps. You hear a little bit of the music, which, although it sounds a lot like the original, is actually a recording of Christian singing. And I personally think she does a very good job in mimicking the original recording of Como la Flor. We get to see more of the house, and it does, in fact, look like the house in Lake Jackson, Texas, the house that they lived in before. So we are seeing this mixing of eras in this preview that we're watching. It probably tells us that they will cover Selena's life, or maybe the series itself will operate as the series of flashbacks, perhaps starting at her murder and flashing back. We also see the white roses sitting on the table, which foreshadows Selena's life. Selena had said to have loved white roses, and she was surrounded by hundreds of white roses as she was laid to rest in 1995. The really important focus in this part is the shot of Marcela Quintanilla, Selena's mom, played by Sadie Lopez in the Selena series. Sadie had auditioned for the role of Selena in the 1997 movie. She became one of the finalists, but obviously did not get the part. That part went to J-Lo. Instead, she ended up playing Selena's cousin, Deborah, in the movie, and was part of that iconic, "Excuse me, miss, we don't need a dress" scene. Now, at the time, she resembles Selena at least a little bit, which is why she was considered for the role. Now, almost a quarter of a century later, this actress has come full circle, and she is now playing the role of Selena's mom, Marcela Quintanilla, in the Netflix series. Now, I don't want to belabor the point, but I'm really excited about Sadie and Marcela Quintanilla in this role. In the movie, Marcela was played by Constance Marie, a wonderful actress who also was up for the part of Selena at the time and was actually very close to the same age as J-Lo. Constance did a great job, but obviously was too young for the role. So I'm very excited to see what an older actress with more life experience can bring to this role. It's very interesting that we get to see a shot of grown Selena interacting with her father, Abraham Quintanilla, who is played by Ricardo Chavarria. You can see that the car he's driving is obviously from the 70s, and his hair and looks tells me that Selena or Christian is obviously traveling throughout Selena's timeline. She's now outside her home in Corpus Christi, Texas, is now no longer in Lake Jackson, Texas, as she's walking somewhere. And then later we get to see a nod to young Selena being played by Madison Taylor Baez, who, if you don't know, you need to go to her channel like right after this video because she has an amazing voice. I'll put a link down below. And we also see some of the backstage of that soundstage where it's being filmed, which again tells us they're not showing us the series, rather they're showing us how the entire crew and the cast is preparing. We get a little glimpse into the sets, the costumes that they'll be using. As a side note, the series is being filmed in Baja Studios, located in Baja, California, Mexico. Their claim to fame is that the studios were originally built to film the movie Titanic in the mid-90s and has since been used for a multitude of big-budget films and television series. Now we get a lot of good stuff in the final few shots. Personally, I would have liked to have seen the top of that microphone covered in red, similar to how Selena's microphone often ended up at the end of a concert. Now, Selena's hair is much too long, or I should say Christian's hair in the promo is much too long and wavy for the concert that they're recreating in 95. And there's no evidence that Selena ever sang with a microphone stand wrapped in flowers the way that you saw in that scene. But I think that's similar to the rest of the video. These are symbolic touches that probably won't be present in the movie. The hair seems to almost be a blend of Christian's hairstyle and Selena's in the 90s. Again, to me, signifying Christian becoming Selena. The white flowers throughout the film may signify the spirit or the essence of Selena being present throughout the filming process. One of the real big symbols, one of those really big symbolic acts is the voice that calls Christian to the actual shoot. First, what it says to me is that we haven't actually been watching the series, including this concert sequence that we just saw. We see at the end, just as the trailer is ending, that they're beginning to film a scene for the series. And more interestingly, the voice that calls Christian over is none other than executive producer Suzette Quintanilla, real-life sister of Selena. This is a great Easter egg, with the director showing that her family is intimately involved in the creation of the series, then only the truest fans would have been able to notice that that was Suzette's voice. We also have Christian break the fourth wall and look directly at the camera and give us that winning smile, almost as if saying, just wait till you see the actual series. Finally, we see the official trademark Selena logo, which tells us that this is an official series sanctioned by Selena's estate and the family. There are many other things that I could have pointed out, but we'll just end it right here and ask you, what are the things that you noticed about the first trailer for the Selena Netflix series? Did you notice any Easter eggs that I didn't mention? Put it down in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of future videos about Selena. If you're in the mood to discuss the upcoming Selena series, join us on our Facebook group with the link down below, Selena the Netflix series, the Facebook discussion group.